Hello YouTube, welcome back to another game of Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. This is going to be another best of 5 from the Dreamhack 2016, which concluded at the very end of January. It is pretty much going to be a continuation of the series. I know I've kind of stopped for a while I was doing the Intel Extreme Masters, which was held. It was such a short tournament, I thought I might as well get it done very quickly in between this and then get back to this as soon as I was done. So I might, after this, continue on with the rounds of 16, or I might just jump straight into the quarterfinals and see where we go there. Or rather, that's actually the semi-finals, I think. So let's see how this one plays out. It's Nerchio versus Lilbow, a Protoss versus Zerg. So let's introduce our players here. On the bottom left hand side, we've got Lilbow spawning as the red Protoss, and Lilbow is on Team Millenium. He's from France, and he's quite a successful player in recent times. He's actually crazy successful. Now his opponent is going to be Nerchio. He is on Team Euronics Gaming, and he is from Poland. Now Nerchio has just switched over from Team Acer to Euronics Gaming, so definitely something to note. Wishing him all the best of luck, of course, in his future endeavors in his new team. So let's see what the stream is. Resolution is okay. And yeah, sorry, just getting a bit distracted by the stream. And looks like Nerchio going for an early expansion here. Now just to note, this was before the spawning pool, and it's one of those ballsy expansions that's completely out of the way. So let's see if Lilbow spots this. He checks this one, sees that there's no expansion here just yet. And is he gonna go up here? Sees there's no expansion there either, moving straight into base. He's gonna see the spawning pool, he's gonna see the timing of the spawning pool, and he's gonna be like, okay, this is super late. This is definitely something going on, because typically you'd see the spawning pool coming out a lot earlier if there was no other expansion. So definitely gonna be experiencing a bit of doubt here as to what his opponent is doing, right until the moment that he sees the expansion here. At this point he knows exactly what's going on. It's just a one base into a spawning pool, or one base expand into a spawning pool, which is actually just fine. And the only thing that he's concerned about now, I would say, is just in case there would be a second hatchery coming down, which would be a super greedy move, but definitely something that Zerg players tend to go for quite often, simply because Protoss is not a very early aggression race. Now just to note, this is pre-nerf for Protoss, but just to note also, that still does not really affect the matchup that much, since drones only have 40 health, meaning that that its depth still two-shot them even with the nerf. So that is all fine. So as you can see here, Mothership Core just cleaning up a little bit. These Zerglings not going to be able to do a whole lot, but of course they are aware that this expansion is down here. So it looks like Nerchio opting to go for an expansion quite early on. Going for the 3 base economy, which Zerg is so good at. Getting yourself a 2.5 saturated bases of minerals, and of course with about 2 to 3 gases behind that, is quite effective in terms of a timing push. So the question is going to be, how is Nerchio going to play this one out? Looks like we've got a Twilight Council on the way. Now just to note, there's 2 gases up, so chances are we are going to see a bit of tech and potentially either a Stargate or a robotics facility very shortly. Oh, looks like we got something going on inside the base here. Looks like it is a Roach Warren getting attacked by depths, and just 2 drones have been taken with that. Or rather, not yet. They haven't actually died yet. 1 does get taken out. The Zergling's probably going to chase him down if he's not careful, but the Psionic Transfer, of course, going to save his little behind from getting destroyed. And these Zerglings are running down here. Now there is a depth in position, so the Zerglings are not going to get a whole lot done since these guys are defending. Let's see what they pull off. Now it looks like we've got Resonating Glaives on the way. Now he did put down a preemptive pylon here just in case those Zerglings were going to go into his base. Obviously he didn't quite need it. Those Zerglings were just going around to scout, and of course they saw that there's no expansion over here, which is of course super important. Let's have a look at what's being made. Looks like a bunch of roaches at the moment. So Nerchio building up his army before saturating that base. So that's definitely interesting. He sees that there's not a whole lot of aggression going down from Lilbow, but he decides to go for an early expansion rather than or early base and army rather than actually building up his economy. Now, just to note, Dark Shrine is on the way. This is definitely something interesting. Lilbow could potentially screw Nerchio up really bad if he manages to get this in position without any Overseer in place. Now, just to note, there's a layer on the way, so Overseer won't be too far behind even if he does get that into his base. And Psionic Transfer gets cancelled. I just want to point out my intro video. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may not. It's had quite a lot of success in getting me new subscribers into the channel. I really like how it turned out, although I do of course have to throw in my voice in there as well, just so people actually hear what I sound like before they actually subscribe. So definitely going to be something to work on and edit. You're probably seeing this about a week or so after the release, so definitely something to work on over the next few days. And I'll probably be making like a version 2 of it soon enough. So layer is about to complete. Let's see, are there Dark Templars on the field? It doesn't appear like there are just yet. There's just a few Adepts taking out drones every now and then. It's a total of 5 drones taken out so far. Queen is in a little bit of trouble here if she stays, but I think that at this point they might as well finish her off. Looks like another attack going down here on the left. 5 Adepts in this one. And Dark Templars on the way. There's 5 of them in total. Now, is there any Overseers on the map? There is not yet, but he will be spotting these. Is he throwing down the Overseer? They are on his creep. And at this point, now that he has started killing off workers, there we go. 3 Overseers have been morphed, 1 in each base, I believe. Yep, that's exactly the case. Dark Templars are now starting to kill things. They're trying to focus down the layer. That is super important. Now, if he manages to snipe this off, he is getting it down. I don't think these Queens are going to be able to take those the Dark Templars out fast enough. And there we go. The layer has been sniped off. A bunch of Adepts are on the way up here as well. And so much damage has been done at this point to Nerchio. I think that this is going to start favoring Lilbow very shortly if he can continue this up. Because he shut down the 3rd base over here, and he does have his own 3rd base coming up. Now, as I usually like to say, Zerg always wants to be on 1 or more bases ahead of his opponent, simply because that means that his economy and production capabilities are going to be better. But Nerchio is actually on even footing right now, so even if he manages to engage onto this, it's really going to make a it's going to matter on who actually destroys the enemy's army, because the reinforcements are not going to be huge from Nerchio. And there we go. I think this is actually going to favor Nerchio here, because he does have a bit of a heavier army against all of these Adepts, which are just a little bit lighter. Now, there's, you know what, let's take that back. There is quite a few Adepts here, so he did manage to clean all of that up. I did underestimate the amount of units, probably because of all the warpins as well. And let's see what he's going to do here. He does have about 12 army supply lead, so he's in quite a good position now. To be honest, that looked very much like the Zerg was going to take that fight for a short moment. I suppose these small Adepts are a little bit hard to account for. It's like Marines. I always underestimate Marines as well, because they're so small, they're so puny. The army looks tiny, but then all of a sudden they go off and do so much damage with the stem. Now, this hatchery, if he wants to, he could probably snipe this off. He does have the Psionic Transfer on the way. Is he going to manage to finish it off? And no, he doesn't actually finish it off. Brings his units on away, on top of all these Zerglings and Roaches. And again, his army is so much bigger right now, 68 to 28. I do believe he is probably going to take this game at this point. There's just nothing that can be done about so many Adepts. Transferring into the natural here, and there we go, the mineral line getting absolutely decimated. 14 drones destroyed, and there we go, the GG has been called. Lilbow takes game number 1 of this series, and we're going to be moving on to game number 2 very shortly. And that is it for game number 1. I hope you have enjoyed this game. Of course, leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I do appreciate you guys making it all the way to the end of this video, and I will see you guys in game number 2. Good luck, take care, I'll see you guys next time.